So is this another great release from Epiphone, or is it a step backwards? The Epiphone Slash collection is here. Let's check it out. Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another episode of Agufish. I know, last time I said the winners of the Neural DSP giveaway would be announced in the next episode. It's only been a few days though. We'll give it until the weekend at least. This is kind of just like an emergency Agufish episode because I woke up this morning and apparently Andertons has uploaded a certain video on a certain series of guitars. I've been getting messages and tags all morning. The new Epiphone Slash collection is finally here. They've been teasing these forever and now we finally have specs and we have pricing. So what's the deal? Are they good? Are they bad? Let's talk about them. Now, if you're new to the channel, and if you are new, why not subscribe? You might not know that I fucking love everything to do with Les Pauls. I just love the shape, the feel, the chunk, everything. And if you're a recent subscriber, you might be like, Hunter, aren't you a modern metal guy? Why are you excited about more traditional Les Pauls? Listen, I love everything to do with Les Pauls. And I've been a fan of the Epiphone Slash signatures I've tried in the past with the Les Paul Standard Plus Pro, basically the Epi Slash Anaconda Burst, and the Slash Firebird. Both those guitars sounded great. The Firebird even had banjo tuners, which was dope. Slash signatures are cool. I really like them, especially the ones I can afford. It's been a couple years since we've had anything new involving Slash in the Epiphone lineup. I mean, understandable, the world basically did fall apart last year. But with Slash as a Gibson ambassador, it didn't feel right to have nothing Slash related on the affordable side of things that wasn't a starter pack guitar. Well, now Epiphone has sorted that out. As expected from the initial pictures that have been out for a while, the new Epiphone Slash collection consists of a Les Paul Standard that comes in 5 awesome colors and a J45 acoustic in 2. Interestingly, every single guitar in the collection will set you back $8.99 US, which makes things easy to remember. Matching the Gibson versions, the LP Standard comes in Anaconda Burst, Vermilion Burst, Victoria Metallic Gold, November Burst, and Appetite Burst in reference to iconic Guns N' Roses moments. And man, those Anaconda and Vermilion Bursts are nice. I'm such a sucker for Flame Burst Les Pauls. And I know a lot of you are too. That's why we do it for Harley Benton. Meanwhile, the J45 comes in November Burst and Vermilion Burst. Those are the standard colors at launch. Maybe they'll add the other colors as like limited editions or something later down the line. We're not going to focus on the J45 too much because I'm not exactly an expert in acoustics. I don't really feel like I've got that much to add to that conversation, but it's got a mahogany back and sides with a solid Sitka spruce top, mahogany neck with an Indian laurel fingerboard, same as a regular Epi J45. But while the standard version has Fishman electronics and a bone nut and saddle, the Slash gives you LR Baggs electronics, a Graphtec nut and saddle, and Grover Rotomatic tuners. It'll come with a hardshell case as a bonus as well. So again, not an acoustic guy. You'll have to decide for yourself whether that's worth 200 bucks over the standard version. The biggest playability difference though is that the Slash version has a super flat 16-inch fingerboard radius. And yes, subscribers are probably sick of hearing about it on the channel, but fingerboard radius is the specification hill I am willing to die on. And yeah, acoustic is a different beast to electric. Still, flat fingerboards, can't stand it. For reference, a standard Epiphone or Gibson has a more rounded 12-inch radius, while 16 inches is Ibanez territory. So, not for me, but for some of you, that might be the spec that gets you interested in the Slash J45. Moving on to the real meat of the collection though, the Slash Les Paul Standard. Classic materials, mahogany body with a carved maple cap, mahogany neck with the Slash Custom C profile. Thank goodness, Epiphone's weird D-shaped profiles would be real odd on these. Instead of rosewood on the Gibsons, bound Indian laurel, which is in vogue right now as the sustainable replacement for rosewood. Graphtec nut, Epiphone vintage tuners. No ebony board on the new collection is a bit of a bummer. That's one of the things I like the best about the 2018 Plus Pro. It makes sense though, brings it more in line with the rosewood equipped Gibson collection and with what Slash actually plays. I'm not gonna lie to you, the colors and styling are awesome. Anaconda and Vermilion Burst. Slightly modern vibes with a traditionally spec guitar? Yes. Love how the Anaconda comes with black speed knobs now, and they've ditched the almost cartoony Amazonian jungle frog green from the 2018 version. Looks much better in the darker shade if the stock photos are to be believed. Victoria gold top, who doesn't love a gold top? Although, zoom in and, okay, that's not great, but we'll chalk that up to it being a prototype. November Burst is cool, Appetite with the reflector top hats, and they've all got that two-tone look, natural back on the Anaconda, or at least a transparent stain on the Vermilion. Love how they aren't super over-the-top slashy either. The truss rod cover has Slash's signature, the back of the headstock has this little logo, but other than that, they're just nice looking Les Pauls. Besides the included hard case, that's also got his logo on it. It's nice that Epiphone is still including hard cases on their sub $1,000 guitars. That's not something Schecter does or LTD does. The electronics though, this is what I was really curious about. The old Epiphones that I tried came with his signature Seymour Duncans. The Gibson Slash collection comes with custom burst buckers, which low-key, that's what I thought we'd be getting in the Epiphone equivalents. So let's see though, what do we actually have in these Epiphones? So in the control cavity, they've got high-quality CTS pots with orange rock capacitors, which are classic components for getting that vintage tone. The pickups themselves though, they're not Gibson, they're not Seymour Duncan, they're Epiphone custom Pro Buckers. Now, okay, hold on, hold the booze, hold the tomatoes. Full disclosure, I'm not the biggest fan of standard Epiphone mud buckers either, but in the Andertons video, they actually sound really good. So maybe these are special designs based on the custom burst buckers in the Gibson collection just for these models. You know, the spec sheet, anytime it mentions Pro Buckers, it has me skeptical, but this is one of those I'm gonna hold judgment on until I'm able to try one of these out in person. So at $899 with a hard case, is the Slash Les Paul Standard overpriced? Depends how you look at it. I would argue no. For a proper shaped, proper thickness, good quality, affordable Les Paul, right? It's not an uncanny valley Les Paul everyone else has to do. It's launching at the same price as the 2018 Anaconda Burst, but arguably lower spec without an ebony board and without Seymour Duncan pickups. However, context is everything. This is launching at an incredibly challenging time for the gear industry. Simply put, supply chain is f***ed and has been f***ed for the last year and a half, basically. It's hard to get good wood. Lol. It's hard to source hardware and pickups. It is so expensive to get a shipping container on a cargo ship right now. You'll notice everyone is increasing their guitar prices. Combine that with inflation, $899 in 2018 dollars is about $950 in today's dollars. My guess is that Epiphone had a ceiling of $899 they wanted to hit. They didn't want a $1,000 Epi Slash collection. So would I have loved Seymour Duncan pickups and an ebony board? Yeah. Of course, those were some of my favorite features from the 2018 version. Like an ebony board on a standard is pretty rare. You'd love to see it. Even the Gibson Anaconda didn't have an ebony board. It was sick. But to keep the price of admission reasonable, if the custom Pro Buckers are voiced well, I'll take it. What I would say is that maybe the Slash models aren't Epiphone's best value for dollar, at least at new prices. That's obviously the $799 1959 standard. Incredible value for money. Aged gloss finish, proper Gibson pickups, big chunky neck. Sounds great, that's such a fun guitar. Even the Tommy Thayer, $849, comes with Seymour Duncan pickups. I guess the Slash tax is higher than the Tommy tax. Understandable. But the counter argument there, Slash models hold their resale value on the used market better than basically any other Epiphone, which might be something you care about. So ultimately, yeah, there are a couple of spec things, but I've been excited about these since they were initially teased. I am so pumped to try one of these out in person. If they're anything close to the 2018 Plus top, they're gonna be great. And yeah, I know, my bad. I talked about that one a lot, but it's the one I'm familiar with and really liked, so it's the benchmark that I have to compare it to. Anyways, point is, I'm excited, but this is where I'll throw it to you. What do you think of the Epiphone Slash collection? What's your initial reaction? Were you indifferent? Now you're hyped? Vice versa? Any and all thoughts? Leave them in the comments. It also gets me excited to see what's next for other Gibson ambassadors. Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm was just announced as their first female ambassador. She's got a sweet Epiphone Explorer custom thing, and in the reveal picture, she's got an Explorer with a Firebird headstock. Yes, release that shit, please. The other thing from the affordable side of the Gibson family brands that's kind of snuck under the radar this week is that Kramer's actually got a new series of guitars. I know, Kramer's actually doing stuff this year. It's crazy. It's so unlike them. They've got a new custom graphics collection, and it is visually very loud, even by Kramer's ultra 80s hair metal standards. There's a Danger Zone Beretta designed by Eric Kaspers, fitting since Top Gun 2 is coming out this year. Have you seen the trailer though? More hype for that than the new Space Jam, definitely. A White Lotus Beretta, also designed by Eric Kaspers, quote, inspired by movie underdogs from the 80s who overcame the odds to triumph in the end. Karate Kid, maybe? A Hot Rod Beretta designed by Chris Stemmer, inspired by, quote, glittery, hot-rodded collectible toy cars from the 1960s. Makes sense. Swear I've seen those flames on a Hot Wheels car. A Viper Beretta by the same artist. It's colorful, it's retro, it is not for me. And Chris Stemmers also designed a Feral Cat Beretta And if this isn't the most stereotypically 80s hair metal guitar, I do not know what is. Would never own one, but low-key kind of love it. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. Apparently both the Feral Cat and the Viper pay homage to classic Kramer models. So that's awesome. They're pulling from their legacy for inspiration. And finally, the Illusionist 84 by Bo Pittman. This is really, really cool. I loved those optical illusion museum exhibits as a kid. And I don't know, this is one of those I didn't know that I wanted until I saw it. All of them have Floyds with EVH-D tunas, single Seymour Duncan JBs, and will run you $9.99. So I mean, technically under $1,000 before tax. You know, I've given Kramer a lot of crap for being so stuck in the 80s and doing absolutely nothing for the modern metal player to complement the retro stuff, but I'm not gonna lie to you, credit where credit is due. These are stupid fun, and the Illusionist is, I mean, I want it. But again, this is where I'll throw it to you. How do you feel about the Kramer custom graphics series? Are you happy with the direction? Like, they are so stubbornly 80s to the point of frustration sometimes. Like, just one fluence with a Beretta or something. But yeah, that's just me. What do you think? And while we're on the topic of Gibson, they've been doing their subtle, not so subtle tease thing with a certain Silverburst standard. Looks like we're getting a Gibson USA Adam Jones that is gonna be, well, I guess affordable relative to the $6,000 custom shop one. Oh man, after I got the Navigator, it's just so much better than any other Gibson Les Paul or Gibson Les Paul custom I've ever played. And I was so confident. I even said it on camera. I was like, I will never buy another new Gibson. Not that I've ever bought a Gibson new, because I mean, that shit is expensive, but you know what I mean. Like, the Les Paul Custom is my favorite. That ebony board is a must. Gibson and Navigator LPCs are the same price. Between the two, Navigator every time. But I might just eat my words with this. 70 style Silverburst standard. Let's assume it's got the same pickup configuration in the reverse mounted custom bucker and custom wound Seymour Duncan DDJ. If it's got an ebony board, it might just be game over. I mean, in theory. Realistically, I'll probably have to stick with Harley Benton since I just bought a PRS Tremonti 10 top. But we can dream. Adam Jones Silverburst standard. Yay? Nay? What are you thinking? And lastly, I want to give a huge shout out to Valeryi Savich and the rest of the amazing patrons that support what I do, bringing you no BS videos like these. Or maybe a little BS. There's some BS sprinkled in there, like this. But yeah, if you want to support what I do as well, get bonus extras, link to join the Patreon community is in the description. You can also support the channel by using my affiliate links, you know, if you're buying something from Sweetwater Toman anyways. It supports the channel, doesn't add any cost to you. Just if you want to. In the meantime, I'm working on the Ghost Horse review, you might have seen it back there. But just wanted to do this little emergency Ask-A-Fish, was getting a ton of tags on the Epiphone stuff. I'm fucking pumped, man. Guitars are cool. Anyways, social media, merch, and Discord server links are in the description. Watch the previous video for the giveaway details. As always, thank you so much for watching. You've been awesome, and I'll see you for the next video.